Alright, good morning, cadre and YouTube. So, like I said, I'm going to start trying to do a shave probably every Saturday, for, at least for a while, see how that goes. So, here to do that today. Still working on the 3017 of Lisa's Natural Herbal Creations Ocean Mist. That's going pretty good. I've got some water in right now, but I think, what was it, before yesterday's shave, I had used about, what was it, 35-ish grams, about, I don't know, I've been using around a little bit more than 5 grams of shave, so, you know, seems like it might be kind of a lot of soap, but Lisa's is not like a real fluffy soap, so when you spread it on your face, you're probably using a little more than you would of other soaps because they fluff up more. But Lisa's is also just ridiculously slick, so there's that. And yeah, smells fantastic too for this particular scent. So, a little espresso with me this morning. But let's get things going. I'm going to be once again using the Stirling Boar brush. Just to kind of show that I have figured out what happened last time on that shave. And that was mostly just way underloaded the soap. So I've got, if you guys can see, just maybe, I don't know, half a teaspoon of water that I put on the puck. And that's just going to go straight into the brush. And then I'll get a good load here. So I hope everybody's weekend is kicking off good. You know, it was kind of a heck of a week in general. I'm not going to get into any of that right here because that's not really what I do. I try to stay aware, but I also try not to let things bother me too much that I have zero control over. Beyond that, otherwise it was a relatively good week. At work, got a couple things in place that are new on the system that I got to help get set up and all that, and with my new job, so that was kind of fun. I wish the counter was just like a little bit deeper so I wasn't like so close to the camera, I guess, or when I'm having to like rinse my face off and get it over the sink, it's not putting me so much off camera compared to normal. But it is what it is right now. Might figure out a better setup later on. So I'm going everywhere. A little bit of water here. So otherwise, hoping for just kind of a pretty quiet weekend at home, really. A few things maybe to accomplish, but mostly just kind of relax with the family. Which would be nice. It's one thing I've really been enjoying about the new work schedule is getting to have my weekends with the family every weekend, because with the old one, my days off were often during the week. So when it came time for a weekend, I was working half the time, at least. that was kind of a little less fun aspect, but soap all over the place. Okay, so today's razor is a Emil Jansen 27. It's nice. I think I'd call that a quarter hollow. It's not. It's not really a near wedge, so I'd call it a quarter hollow. But it's a nice razor. Took a really nice edge on the cuticules and whatnot. So let's get this going. It's something interesting I've noticed with this particular razor, and I don't know if it's just like the temper that it's got, or what it is, but it seems, I wouldn't say it sings necessarily, but it's a lot more audible than most razors at this grind level, in my experience. So I don't know if it's got kind of a little bit more of a almost spring temper to it. Because it sounds a lot closer to what I expect from a more hollow ground razor than something that's got that much meat left in it going towards the spine. So it's kind of interesting. Other than that, we had a fun Wednesday night Zoom call with the cadre. As usual, it's fun to get back into that. It's a little weird. It was a little weird last week, only having one New Year's call. But at the same time, it was one heck of a call, so. I definitely need to remember to actually get my bingo card made for the Monkeys bingo game coming up, because he's actually going to let us make our own pair of cards, as long as we make them and submit a picture to him before the game starts. So it's kind of an interesting aspect to this particular game coming up. I gotta double check if it's this Monday or if it's next Monday that the game starts. I don't remember. I think it's next Monday. Could be wrong. That is it for pass one. Got cleaned off a little bit better here. So it's kind of taken to, as you can kind of see there, I got my towel back there, so I'll do a couple quick drops on that to dry it off between passes, but also to kind of give it, like what Barber Dave talks about, giving it a little bit, keeping the edge up during the shave. And I don't know that I've noticed it making a huge difference during the shave, but the main thing is, again, just I want to dry it off between passes so I can set it down and not worry about water getting all up in the scales and stuff like that. Because it's a pain to dry those out if you gotta do that. Alright, a little bit more water here. Alright.
Daddy?
Yeah, 1 second, guys. Okay, we're back. Son wanted to ask to change his game on a Switch. So he's really good about it if he's like not on, if he's, you know, even if he was playing like 5 minutes ago and he decided to get off, but then no, he still kind of wants to play, he still comes and asks us if he can get back on. So that's kind of nice. He doesn't just assume he can play whenever. So all right. I'm going to really focus today on keeping a light touch more than anything. And yeah, I saw, was it Steve Chuck Frank working on his straight razor skills. That's coming along nicely, it sounds like. Let's see what else is going on. Oh yeah, we got KJ got a couple threads started for some fun in February. So it's going to be kind of 2 challenges going at once, and people can join in either one or both. They're kind of intended to be a little bit complimentary. And so that is the first one is the Williams February 3017 challenge kind of thing, or group 3017, whatever you want to call it, where you can just do regular puck of Williams, vintage or new, or you can do what a lot of us are going to do, and that is take a Williams puck and grade it down. And then mix an aftershave with it. Let it sit. Let it sit like that for a couple days or so, and then kind of give it a stir after that every couple days until it gets pretty well absorbed and the alcohol's vaporized pretty well. And you can kind of pack it back down into a puck. Either let it keep drying, call it good, whatever. But then you got yourself a nice scented puck of Williams. So I went ahead and a week and a half or so ago started, and a lot of those have, you know, various fun names, like what I'm doing. or I just finished making this with Old Spice, and they call that a spicy willy. And there's lots of different ones that are already kind of have names. Or you can come up with something all your own and name it yourself. I think I'm going with something that I didn't see a name for, so I'm calling it the Silly Willy, which is basically going to be similar to like what you would do with a clown puck. Which, if you're not familiar with that, it's where you basically take a bunch of little bits of soap, mash them all together in a tub, and now you got a thing of soap that's just all kinds of a mishmash. Well, I'm doing a similar thing, but with aftershaves, and I've been doing it for a little while. So I've got this bottle that was a Knob Creek whiskey bottle. And what I've been doing is, since I take most of my aftershaves, or pretty much all my aftershaves, out of the plastic bottles that most of them come in, and put them in a glass bottle. A lot of times you'll end up with just a little bit that didn't quite fit in the bottle, so I dump it in this big bottle, end up with this big mishmash. It's a nice green color. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in there right now. I think the bottle, it's a 750 ml bottle, and it's about half full, and it's got a little bit of Osage, probably a little bit of just Dickinson's witch hazel, definitely some aqua velva, let's see, a couple little just like aftershave samples that I was like, it's alright, not necessarily for me as far as scent goes, but don't want to waste it. And it wasn't enough to really bother sending to people or something, so just tossed it in there. And so, solid mishmash for sure. Alright. But since it's similar to the clown puke, I haven't really figured out what I'm going to call it aftershave itself. Maybe just call it the silly splash or something, but I figure for the Williams thing, it makes sense to call it a Silly Willy because it kind of is a funny little name. And it explains pretty well what it is. Yeah, so the other thing KJ's got going, starting in February, is the February One Blade Challenge, where you pick a blade that you are going to try to get an entire month of shaves from that blade. And if you just, get, half a dozen shaves in or a dozen shaves in, and you just feel like you're not getting good shaves anymore from that blade, you can switch out to a new one of the same blade and just see how few blades you can get use. Apparently I didn't do the best job with the soap again today, of course, because I'm on video. At least that's what I'm going to blame it on, because I've been getting good lathers with the boar brush and the soap during the week. Anyway, so yeah, you can use DEs, SEs, you can even use a straight razor. The rule is no honing, just stropping. But you got to use the same thing, same blade for every shave. Actually, no, what am I doing? So yeah, same blade for every shave. You can change up the razor if you want. Just gotta keep, move the blade around. For me, I'm going to be doing a Feather Pro Artist Club blade in my Occam's razor. See how that goes. I know the blade it's currently in is the first blade I put in it, and I have no idea how many shades are on that. I've used it quite a bit, just didn't really bother keeping track. But I've noticed that it's starting to feel like it probably is about time for a new blade in that one, so nice timing to go ahead and do that. So as you can see, there is definitely soap there. It's very slick. Just kind of went on pretty thin. But honestly, that's almost what you want for a straight shave anyway, I guess. Get that extra thin, extra slick layer for the end. Alright, so that is the shave. Oh, that was almost bad. Let's drop the razor. Yeah, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pause you guys here real quick while I kind of clean up the equipment a little bit for a second, and then I'll be back for a post shave. Alright, we're back. Got the stuff all cleaned up for the most part there. And yeah, so we're going to finish things off today with a little Barbasol Pacific Rush aftershave. This is definitely kind of a unique scent as far as like the classic aftershaves from what I've smelled. Not my absolute favorite, but it is nice. And it kind of fits pretty well with the ocean mist and that a little bit of an aquatic kind of feel to it. And it is wife approved, which is always a plus. So, some that off in there. But yeah, so hope everybody has a good weekend. Enjoy some time off, hopefully, and maybe hang out with the family and whatnot, like I'm going to be doing. And like I said, we've got lots of fun stuff coming up on the Cadre, so come check us out if you haven't done that already. And I'm UA Cowboy. I'll catch you guys later.